Ready, 2026. Roll call, please.
Chairman Robert Arduino,
Here.
Commissioner David Avalos,
Here.
Commissioner Nestor Martinez,
Present.
Commissioner Danny Portillo. Present. We have a quorum, sir.
Okay, this time I'd like to call for a conflict of interest if there are any between staff, commission, and or that's it. If anyone has a conflict of interest now, with any of the agenda items, now's the time to bring it up. Hearing none, we move to approval of the agenda as it stands.
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, we do have two changes on the agenda. Item number 4 on the agenda is to be removed. The property owner decided to take a different direction with the mobile home that he was purchasing. So we would like to get your consideration to remove that. The second item is we still haven't received in writing the legal analysis concurrence and direction from Municipal League on the meeting minutes from, what was the original date? January 14th, with regards to Sun River Estates. That correction is not to change the vote or not to ask for a revoting, but essentially to make a correction in my interpretation of the majority of the voting members.
Okay.
We would like to postpone that meeting to
The-
February 25th at 5:30 here at City Council Chambers.
You mean postpone the
Meeting minutes.
minutes, okay.
Yes, and for purposes of transparency, the vote stands as a majority, so the motion did not fail. We are not here in question for that, we're just in question regarding the meeting minutes.
Just on that, before you type it up for item number 3 on that it says was approved unanimously, that word needs to be removed. And then item number 5, it says unanimously again, that
Correct.
needs to be removed. Because there was
Yes.
a 3-2, it was a 2-1
And a 2-1.
and a 2-1. So those two words should be.
And that remains, like I said, that is the, we want to make sure that it has conformity and uniformity with, in regards to complying with the meeting minutes and the approval of them and for clarity and the future.
So on the consent
yes.
agenda, we only have item from the meeting minutes from January 28th. And public hearing, we have number 3, 5, and 6 to hear.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
You can, make the motion.
entertain a motion to approve the arranging of the agenda.
A motion to rearrange the agenda as specified.
Motion on the floor.
Nice second to rearrange.
Commissioner Portillo and I think seconded by Commissioner Avalos. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 You opposed?
Aye.
No opposed. So next on the agenda, we have the consent agenda with item number 2 on it. For meeting minutes for 1/28/2026. Consent agenda is agenda that doesn't need to be voted on. There's no. Pages or any changes.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I'm sorry, folks,
Okay.
I have an apparently emergency phone call. I'm gonna have to ask if we can, just a 5-minute recess real quick. Thank you. Apparently someone's being muted.
And Mr. Martinez was
Oh,
there.
okay,
Okay.
thank you all. We call meeting to order. It's 5:41. Let's see if they're back on.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
gentlemen, back on?
Yes, Chairman, I'm on.
Commissioner
This is Commissioner
Martinez?
Avalos.
Yeah. Commissioner Martinez, you back on? Sorry, folks, technical difficulties.
I think he had mentioned he was driving in from Ruidoso, so he might have lost reception there.
So if he's not on, we just need to make a note that the commissioner dropped off the call and he'll get back on when he does. And he's got it for him. Okay? Let's start back up. Now we're on the public hearing portion. Item number 3 is an approval of variance 26002. Approval for wall signs and pole signs.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sherman and members of the commission. Aris Rivas, city planner. The next item will be the variance 26-002. The applicant is requesting approval for wall signs and pole sign located at 1920 Appaloosa Drive, Southern Park, New Mexico. Before I start, is the applicant online?
Is the name?
Sabine Marquez.
I'm here, yes.
Okay, the application was submitted and accepted on January 7, 2026. Staff did not hold a DRT meeting. Public notice was posted and mailed out before December 23, 2025. The zone will be a commercial. And this is the map of the 200 feet buffer where the public notice letters were mailed out. This is the perspective view, the aerial view. And these are the signs that the applicant is applying for, which they're not as part of the ordinance, since our ordinance is not allowing us to have big signs, so that's why he's applying for a variance. The next one will be the attachment of the size of the wall signs. The next will be the letter of statement. And public notice letters were mailed out. Madam Clerk, did we receive anything back?
No, ma'am.
Staff did not receive anything back. Staff does recommend approval with conditions stated below, and we stand before you for any questions.
Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve item paper agenda.
I make a
sorry.
motion to approve. I make a motion to approve.
That's it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. All right, I'm back up a second. Actually, at this time, we'd like to swear everyone in the galley and online. If everyone would raise their right hand, please. Everyone agree to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
I do.
I do.
And else that's good. Thank you. Now, I needed to entertain a motion to approve item variance 26002.
A motion to
Make a
approve.
motion to approve.
Okay, there's two motions to approve. Can one of them be a second?
I'll
I
second.
can be second. This is Commissioner David.
All right, guys, we got to slow down a little. There's a motion on the floor by Commissioner Avalos and seconded by, correct, Commissioner Portillo. Discussion by the commission at this item. So a couple things, in this application, is there an actual pole sign or no pole sign?
Not
Okay.
yet.
And we don't have any plans for it, so we're not gonna put that in this part of the.
Well, it's the pole sign, it's the one in the drive-through.
Oh, okay, so that's actually a wall sign, so
A
we
wall
need that corrected. to be
Oh,
a
okay.
wall. That's a.
Okay.
wall. And it's
Not a
actually
pole.
something different too, so pole signs up on a pole, wall signs, the ones that are in front, I think that's a marquee, but we'll get the correct
Okay.
image for it.
Sounds good.
And, okay, that's one question I had. And then, how much, given the, regulations that are on the way, does this agree with those?
I'm sorry?
Our sign ordinance that's on the way?
Well, remember it got postponed,
Yeah.
so yeah, so that's why,
Would this meet that sign ordinance? Is what I'm asking.
no.
Still too big for the sign ordinance?
No, because the ones we brought in,
Uh-huh.
it got postponed by city council. So
Oh.
we're still on the old ordinance.
But I'm saying if that sign ordinance was
Okay.
to be passed as it
Yes.
is, it would meet it.
Yes,
All of it would meet it.
yes, yes.
Does anyone have any idea why they postponed it? They just postponed it. Okay,
Yeah.
what was the discussion? Does anyone remember the discussion?
No.
Okay, well, we don't need to talk about it. All right, so not a pole sign. We'll check the verbiage on that. The two
I mean,
front signs.
this was for a pole sign though. I mean, that was, the original permit is for the pole sign, a
Right.
20-foot pole.
Actually, sorry, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. We're gonna finish with the city and then we'll, get with you. The other question I have, is there a landscaping? There's no landscaping?
They didn't submit anything for landscaping, but the conditions are,
Okay, so with that, you, they kind of, that one phrase is not enough. And it's actually not correct. So let me get back to where we're at. Give me 1 second.
number 10, are you talking number 10?
Yes, I'm talking about number 10. So we'll probably make this contingent on a landscaping, on a landscaping plan. And it's not coniferous landscape material because everything in the desert is somewhat gonna lose its foliage. So
Okay.
the trees need to be desert landscape trees. The tree list, El Paso has a desert tree list.
Okay,
We need to figure out how many trees they're gonna plant, because we have been doing that. I think something like this would probably have required 4 3-inch caliper trees, and then
Okay.
a bevy of 5-gallon, shrubs and such. So we could talk to them about that, rather than me just making it up. We've, in the past,
yeah,
had those numbers for that area, and then we're gonna try to get that in the rest of the city too.
sounds good.
So,
So do you want to modify
yeah,
one of the conditions?
I'd modify number 9. I also would make this whole thing contingent on,
Number 9 or number 10?
I'm thinking in
9.
it's
Oh,
not,
9, okay,
and I will also make it contingent on, turning in a landscape plan that had a specific amount of trees and shrubs, and I'm gonna
Okay.
ask you all to, get with him on that.
sounds good.
Commissioners, any other questions for the city now?
Yeah, just want to see how
Who's this?
long are we in updating all this
Sorry, who's this?
signage? You know,
Hello, who's this?
this is Commissioner Martinez. I'm sorry.
Oh,
How are we on updating all these new ordinances for the entertainment district?
we'll bring that up at the end of the meeting, sir. Do you have any questions for, about this application right now?
Yeah, this is Commissioner Martinez. That was my question for the city.
Okay, can we bring it up at the end? And then if that's if you have anything to add on this specific application.
This is for the signage up front, right? I'm sorry,
Yes.
because I got cut off. Yeah, no.
Yes, sir.
So how are we doing on updating the city ordinances for the signage?
Okay, so so we can talk about that. We want to ask questions specific to this application. So that'll be a general question we can ask at the end. Right now, there's no regulations. There's no regulations. My question was, how does this application fare with what should be the sign ordinance, and the answer was they are in compliance with a future sign ordinance that we haven't passed yet.
Okay,
Does that make
got it,
sense?
got it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I'll get with the city later. Thank you.
Well, no, well, we can ask that question at the end under remarks and inquiries by the PNC.
Yes, sir.
Because I
Got
want
you.
to know too. Any other questions for the city at this moment? None. Hearing none, we'll move to the applicant. Sir, if you could state your name for the record.
Hello, my name is Sabino Marquez.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, do you agree with all of staff's comments as stated?
So we already put landscaping and trees and everything to, we have a general contractor that is working on all that. And they did the plan, they have the rock, they had the trees, they put the 5-pound, desert trees and all that. This was strictly we paid for a pole sign permit. And of course, we're putting wall signs, just like any other shopping center sign, nothing, I don't think it's anything oversized or anything. It's a 6-suite shopping center and the pole sign is pretty standard and in a shopping center like facility. I mean, if you drive out to this property, it's a beautiful shopping center. I mean, I just don't want to have to pay another $1,000 for a pole sign permit to come to hearing again and send out letters again when this whole thing was just for the pole sign.
Okay, so, that's understood. I think we might, are you saying the pole sign is the sign on the side of the building that says drive-through?
No, not at all. This is a pole sign, a 20-foot pole sign
So
in
with that,
in
sir,
the front.
then I would suggest you, get us a rendering of that, get the community development department a rendering of that. This is what we're here to discuss. We don't do it on, just, it's a nice sign. That's not how planning and zoning works. So that would be one thing. We could postpone this, or we can make it contingent on that. What do you all suggest?
I could
Chairman
furnish that
Orsino
render pretty soon.
and Commissioner Portillo, that is not, so there's a few issues here. That was that on the original application? That other sign?
Because the pole sign, they made it for the size to comply with the ordinance. So that's why they did it with Miguel.
Okay.
So the pole sign, they made it for the ordinance, so they could comply with the ordinance.
Okay,
So that's why it wasn't brought to the variance, because they were complying with the
the
size.
specific ordinance we have now.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Well,
So
that's,
that's why.
Yes. All right, so that being said, thank you for the clarity. The only thing that I would say is if on, condition number 11, as recommended by staff, that we add,
it's actually 10
well, I'm going to 11,
for the plan.
yes.
Okay.
Because if this was not on the original, plans for the building, and because we have not seen whether it was or not, then electricity will need to feed this pole. So we want to make sure that has, permits and inspections by CID. So I would like to, for the record, I don't think, just for the record, we'll let the record show that pole sign must, city staff must receive proof of CID's acceptance. And then that would follow within, and then the rest of them will follow up with CID, because those were not on the original plan.
And your suggestion on number 10 for a landscape plan? Because again, that's not here either. And, so we don't know exactly what was planted and how much of what was planted.
That plan is submitted,
Yeah,
so we can enforce it.
so it needs to be submitted.
Correct.
Okay. All right, sir, do you understand, the clarity is, the pole sign, you heard what, Mr. Longtail said from the city?
Yes, sir, I did. But I disagree because there is already electric going to where the pole sign is going to be, and it was in the plans, and it's got permits for it, and it's been
Well, that's all that
approved.
needs to be done. You just need to prove that to, the
Perfect.
community
Yes, sir.
development. Fund. So we'll just make it a
Understood.
contingent that you supply that. And then the same with the landscaping. It doesn't need to be, I guess we're not submitting what through a landscape architect or an engineer. It could be a hand-drawn drawing with, the sizes and the trees and shrubs planted on the plan.
Yes, so there's a schedule that, well, you know, tree schedule. So if there's gonna be a palo verde, honey mesquite, 3-inch, caliber, you know, then that would need to be specified and the locations. So, and the reason for it, so again, for transparency purposes is to assure because they need to be maintained year round that we can be enforced.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sir, do you understand that? Those are the two more conditions that will be added.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions about that? Okay, just hearing that. The only thing I'd like to, prove this, that coniferous plants needs to be desert, like we talked about.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna rewrite that condition to make it
Okay.
better.
So any other, questions for the applicant?
None for me.
Okay, all right, so then, at this time, we'll close the floor to the applicant, and we will open the floor to anyone, in the public that would like to, talk on this matter. Is there anyone in the public who would like to talk on this matter? Okay, hearing none, we'll close the floor, and, any further comments from the commission or questions?
No,
Nope.
sir.
Okay, then we have, the changes to the conditions. We're adding 10 and 11. We have that written down.
Yeah.
And, number 9, we're gonna change. So if there's no other questions from the commission, I'll take roll call on this matter.
Chairman Robert Domino,
Aye.
Commissioner David Avalos,
Aye.
Commissioner Nestor Martinez,
Aye.
Commissioner Daniel Portillo.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
You bet. So next we have item number 5, variance 26003.
Good evening, Commissioner Sandra Montoya, City Planner. So the next item is the applicant is requesting approval to place a mobile home at 108 Alamo within the R1 MFTC zoning. Mobile homes are not allowed in this area. The application was received and accepted on January 13, 2026, and staff did not hold a DRT meeting. The property is currently zoned R1 MFTC. Letters were mailed out to property owners within the 200-foot buffer. This is the aerial view. And these are the plans for the mobile home. And there's the mobile home. The applicant's letter of statement. And public notice letters were mailed out, and we did receive one phone call. And we did meet with the constituent in regards to the mobile home opposing it. Staff recommends denial, but if approved, applicant must adhere to the conditions listed below. Please stop before you for any questions.
This, at this time, I'm going to turn a motion to approve, item 26003.
A motion to approve, variance 26003.
We have a motion on the floor, Commissioner Portillo, second, please.
I'll go ahead and second. This is Commissioner Martinez.
Second by Commissioner Martinez. Discussion, by the commission on this item. Do we know if is this neighborhood, is that one of the last lots in this neighborhood?
Mr. Chairman, Arguelino, and members of the commission, this development those were the last lots for that particular phase of that subdivision. The R1 MFTC, just for point of clarification, does not allow for permanent mobile homes to be placed. It does have an allowance, which is also on the code amendments that we're doing, that in the starting of the city, it allowed for a mobile home to be placed on the lot while the house or single family dwelling will be built. The ordinance that stands as of today allows for that mobile home to be there for 1 year, but no more than 2 years. That is one of the corrections that you, as well as some of the commissioners have made comments, and it's currently have been postponed by city council, pending some other items that they wanted clarification on. At this point, and to keep the integrity of the single family homes, which is the long range planning that was designed for this, we did not recommend a zone change, because that would mean that the mobile home would remain in place if the zone was to be changed. What we are recommending, because the mobile home was installed, initially we believed that there was no permits for it. Further investigation yielded that there was an actual permit pulled, and that both El Paso Electric and the state of New Mexico Mobile Home Division had issued. The only or the reason why this had not been brought up is because they did not have a permit or certification from the city as far as zoning verification and floodplain. This came to us in a form of a code compliance complaint, and we have worked with the property owner, and there's a few conditions that as per the nature of it, we cannot recommend approval. However, because of his a desire to come and plead this case, if this commission is to consider it, we have a sequence of conditions here. And the important condition here is that the day that mobile home gets taken out, or that a modification is done, the mobile home will have to be removed, and that lot will can only be used for single family homes. So this will be for the life of this mobile home, nothing further, and the mobile home will not be able to replace them in the future. That's something that we discussed with the property owner. One of the concerns that was brought up to us was the chain link fence, which is not permissible, and we have asked that that gets secured in within a reasonable time, and we are recommending a 24-month period to be able to cure that nuisance.
The applicant, go ahead. So the applicant, the application is for permanency with the mobile home, or is it for a 1 to 2 year? No, it's not.
We don't want to do the 1 to 2 years. Okay. We want to do it for the life of the mobile home. If not to do a mobile home and an addition, not to do a mobile home and a house, not to do 2 mobile homes, which is some of the nuisances that, or the nuisance that we're trying to abate within the area. This is an area where we have done an inventory, and that condition is very existing.
So you are recommending
The condition,
with conditions.
yes, the conditions for approval, if this board decides to approve it or recommend it, because it's a variance, is that it's just for the life of the mobile home and not something that it can be exchanged through the years. Thank you.
And it meets all setbacks.
Yes, this is actually a 7,000 square foot lot. So
Yeah, it looks like
we're taking this for, actually, I think this is more less what all the other lots should be looking that will be for mobile homes under manufactured homes.
And the city's comfortable with 2 years to replace the chain link fence?
We know that it's not an easy expense, but this commission makes that recommendation.
Okay. All right. Any questions for the
Any
city?
question, is this applying to the life of the mobile home? And I believe it does, but, or is it, change, can change of ownership also be, kind of the cutoff, meaning, once the original owner is no longer the owner, then,
Can sell it.
yeah, exactly, or somebody move in and just keep the maintenance going for generations or something like that, like, what does that kind of look like?
Actually, that's,
Good condition.
yes, Commissioner, Chairman Arbolino and Commissioner Portillo, that's actually a great, condition and recommendation. And,
Yeah.
the staff will not oppose to, I know this property was intended to be transferred to, her sibling. So we can allow him to do that transfer and add it to that condition. And then if she's the one that is gonna be taken over, then it's until she decides to either stay or leave, and then that condition can, that, I think, staff will be.
Amenable to that. Okay. Any other questions for staff? Yeah. All right, we'll hear from the applicant then. Señor. Por favor. Buenas tardes, su nombre, por favor.
Miguel Sainz,
Okay, Mr. Sainz. Do you speak English?
poco.
Poquito. Just, I speak terrible Spanish, so, do you agree with staff's comments?
¿Está de acuerdo con lo que se ha dicho por parte de la ciudad?
Pues,
O si no
puede-
entendió, pues no sé si podemos.
ellos ya me habían explicado, que esa traila, si llega a salir, ya no se puede reemplazar otra. Tiene que ser una casa o algo, pero que se puede quedar ahí.
Yeah, actually, it's best. You should.
Yes, entonces, ellos le van a hablar en inglés y ellos le van a.
Sí. Sí. Y, para que se registre apropiadamente el registro, le vamos a hablar en inglés y así, ¿verdad? Se registra correctamente.
Sí.
Okay. So, it's our understanding you agree with staff's comments and,
Sí.
okay, and that the commissioner has brought up, another condition that, you would be allowed to, transfer the home to a sibling, but if the sibling decides to sell it, then at that point, the mobile home would have to be moved and a site-built house. The next owner of the land would have to build a house.
Okay.
Okay? All right. You have any-
Also, just to be sure, since the translation I don't get, the fence, you understand, they've already explained to you that the fence is gonna need to come down.
Sí, el chain link
Mhm.
se tiene que cambiar, no puede ser.
That's right.
ya tiene años con eso.
I just want to make sure you understood, that's one of the conditions that the chain link is gonna have to be
Remove.
removed.
Entonces, pero si me permiten, por ejemplo, hacer una barda de bloque.
Sí.
Sí.
I various, there are other walls you were able to build. Have built. Yes, the chain link is the one thing we're trying to rid the city of in neighborhoods.
I just want to make sure you understand that, the chain link fence is gonna have to be removed or upgraded, changed, to a stone wall or whatever else you have. So as long as you understand that, that's all I wanted.
Sí, sí lo entiendo.
Okay. Are there any other questions for the applicant?
None from me.
Okay. Then, thank you. Gracias. Hearing none, we move on to, the public. Gracias, señor. Is there anyone from the public that would like to speak up? Puedes sentar con eso. You can sit with that. Okay, that's it. Yes, sir.
So my name is Daniel Salinas and I'm their neighbor and I don't have any opposed or anything against them, so I'm okay and the trailer stays there.
Thank you for coming in to say that. Yes, sir. Any other, anyone else would like to speak up? Anyone online? No? Okay, hearing none. I close the floor. Okay, and open it up to the discussion from the. Is there any other questions to ask from the commission? Okay,
This is
hearing none.
Commissioner Avalos, and no question.
Okay. No other questions? We did, public and, roll call for this matter, please.
Chairman Robert Arbolino,
With conditions, aye.
Commissioner David Avalos,
Conditions, aye.
Commissioner Ernesto Martinez,
Aye.
Commissioner Daniel Portillo,
Conditions mentioned, aye.
motion carries.
Good.
Next on the agenda, we have variance 25-0115. Carport encroaching setbacks.
The applicant is requesting approval for carport and coaching the setbacks. This application, or you heard this case back on November 10th. And y'all recommended that she call the electric company about the light pole that's in the middle of the carport. And so she does have some new information because she did meet with the electric company and they gave her 3 choices of what to do, but she decided to come before the commission to ask your opinion, I guess of what would satisfy the commission for that. Do you want me to go through the whole presentation or?
Well, the choices, please,
Oh, she has the choices.
and we don't get to hear those.
Yes. Yes, she'll let you know because they're in Spanish. But you wanna go to the picture where it shows the actual,
Yeah.
keep going. Right there. You remember that one, right? Okay. The applicant's here?
They need to open it.
Yeah, we
Oh,
need to
okay.
open the motion. This time I'll entertain a motion, to approve item number VAR 25-0115.
I'll go ahead and motion to approve.
Okay, so motion by, Commissioner Martinez, second please.
I'll second.
Seconded by, Commissioner Portillo. Discussion and, action by, discussion by the commission on this item. Okay, well, so if you want to refresh our memory on just the key highlights, how far is it in the setback, so they both.
So she is not respecting any of the setbacks, for it. But the main concern was that electric pole right in the middle of the carport. Staff is recommending denial, but if approved, she would have to go ahead and adhere to the, staff recommendations on the conditions.
It's like 2 feet from the side and 3 feet from the side. Well, did we send out that, notices to the neighbors on this?
We did back in, because since it was postponed, we sent these out. Back in, September, the application was accepted on September 12th and
They're mailed out before September 26th.
And you didn't receive any negatives?
No, we didn't.
Nothing done. So I said that I can't state enough how important that is, that the neighbors are okay with that. Because that's one of the things in the future that we're just gonna have to kind of rely on, because it's a real issues with these things. Any questions, for the city at this moment?
I have a question, Commissioner Avalos. And I'm not sure if you explained this, but I just wanna, is there an easement there or is it on the actual property?
So, if I may,
That pole.
Like,
there's an easement that goes through the back of the property. Well, I'm sorry, it goes through the middle of the property by El Paso Electric. If you see, the photograph that we're looking at, there's actually two carports. And they're separated by the phone lines, or the phone poles.
Oh,
Utilities.
I see.
Yeah.
Got it.
And
Okay,
we,
that makes sense. I couldn't see all the pictures, but I get it now.
we at the time said, I mean, she's obviously gone through a lot of expense, which unfortunately is real. But at the time, we said she needed to get in touch with the El Paso Electric to give an idea of what they were suggesting. So that's kind of where we're at. We can hear from the applicants and see what they told her. We all right with that? Okay, then we'll do that. Yes, ma'am. Your name for the record, please.
Stacy Amon.
Okay. And this is Amaya. What did El Paso Electric tell you?
Fueron los inspectores y me dijeron que del poste al comienzo del Porsche deberían de ser mínimo para ellos 8 pies.
Okay.
Que si lo dejaba así ya era cuestión de la ciudad, pero que mejor yo hablara para quitar la especificación si ustedes querían los 8 pies o que quite un poco más.
So, probably 8 feet in front and behind the pole? Is my guess. That's probably what they were saying?
Sí.
Okay. That was one of, was there any other options they gave you?
Sí, la otra opción que me dieron, como yo ya era dueña de la propiedad, pero no había cambiado el nombre. Entonces, cuando ellos metieron el poste, lo hicieron firmar al dueño que estaba en la propiedad. Entonces me dijeron que por esa razón yo podía con ellos aplicar para ver si quería quitar el poste, pero que es un periodo de 2 meses para ver si con un área vecino, algún vecino lo pudieran poner. Yo le comenté a él que para mí en caso no era necesario, ¿verdad? Si yo hacía las reducciones, porque si ellos no lo aprueban, el costo del cambio del poste ya va opcional para el cliente y pues si es, me dijeron que de 12,000 a 15,000 dólares, pues yo ya no pudiera hacer ese gasto.
Plus, it's cheaper to remove.
Sí.
And is that something you'll do if asked? You're able to do that? To take away 8 feet front and back?
Sí, de hecho hablé a las personas donde me lo construyeron.
Yeah.
Me dijo que por la medida de la estructura, que él creía que era mejor quitar casi 12 para que quitaran todo el panel completo.
Understand. Okay. All right. All right. Any questions for the applicant?
I have a question. This is Commissioner David Holmes.
Go ahead, Mr. Commissioner Alvarez.
Oiga, señora, la propiedad ¿son dos propiedades diferentes o es la misma propiedad?
No es la misma propiedad.
There's two carports.
Es la misma propiedad. Okay.
There's one in front of the pole and one behind the pole.
Got it. I thought it was just a different, my question was to see if it was a different lot, like a different, lots that she owned two different lots, but it's the same lot, so it makes sense. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Gracias, señor.
Gracias.
Okay. That's your-
I just wanted to know, maybe a full refresher, just because and I'll ask for forgiveness, I can't recall. The exact reason, are these just carport, just where you would like to park the car? There's no other reason, no, them fulfilling any other type of role, other than just making sure your cars are not exposed to the elements?
Y bueno, en la parte de atrás tengo a mis perros y enfrente ya lo que es del poste para enfrente, nada más para la carro.
That's
You have the numbers. It's 16. Okay, if there's no other questions, then, I will, gracias.
This is Commissioner Martinez. I have well, going over her letter to the city. Señora, este es el Commissioner Martinez. La carta dice que han parado. Quiero entender lo que dice. Al parecer se cruza mucha gente por esa calle. Por esa calle por donde vive usted. Y usted dijo que desde que puso el carport ya no se cruza la gente, se escondía la gente por su casa o cómo está eso que dice esa letter a la ciudad.
Sir, can you say that in English, please?
Yeah, her letter states that there was illegal crossings through that street, and that ever since she put that carport, about 90% of it has stopped or seized. And I want to try to understand if they were hiding in her lot or were they passing through her lot before the carport was there.
Sí, lo que pasa es que como yo estoy en la parte de todo el frente mío está sola, entonces lo que es mi propiedad y la propiedad enseguida eran una de las propiedades que más se usaban como para estar cruzando gente y pues ya era demasiado el cruce y de hecho yo mandé evidencias de carros que estaban adentro de mi casa, porque para ellos era como una salida fácil de ahí brincarse a la esquina y irse. Y ahorita pues ya ha bajado mucho el incremento. La otra vez me pasó, pero se metieron del otro lado y yo hablé a la policía y está el reporte de la policía.
Ah, okay. Bueno, muchas gracias. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, we'll open the floor, gracias. We'll open the floor to the public. Would anyone from the public like to speak on behalf of the board? Yes, okay. Then I'll close the floor and,
Anybody else? No.
okay. Seeing hearing none, the public hearing on this portion is closed, and, the only kind of questions I have for the city is, this didn't go through PRC, right? And
Cheers.
PRT, sorry,
No.
it did not.
Okay.
So would the fire marshal have any interest in this type of thing, having three sides closed? And the only one open is the one to the home? Have we ever?
And I would tell you, regardless of the DRT, this cases are shared with the fire marshal, as he will confirm, but when we have asked, no? When we have asked is that they don't have a concern, because it's like on the last one, radiant heat, X, Y, and Z, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, well, that's my question. I think her going through the motions, of figuring out what the electric company wants goes a long way. I think, the fact that none of the neighbors have an issue with it helps us as well, so, I don't have any further questions. Is there any other further questions for the city? From the commissioners?
None from me.
And, just as a closing, comment from city staff on this particular case, over this particular cases. We have engaged with, CID again with this requirements, and that's why our condition is gonna be slightly, changed to where, we will not be requiring for the engineer, letter or assessment to be verified by the city. The liability will be passed on, for the inspection agency, which they will require it. But what we will do in lieu of that is that we will ask that certificate, either occupancy or inspection, or letter from CAD that they may not require an inspection, be submitted within 90 days. If in 90 days it is not been able to be fulfilled, we will come back and abate, the curing will be the removal of the structures. So as part of this, when this decision letter is rendered, we will be asking for progress meetings on a monthly basis to assure that they don't go to day 90 and then they start the process and that we see that progression. Tomorrow, there's a meeting scheduled with CID that we're gonna go over some internal issues, and this will be brought up again. The reason for it is because it is a state requirement. It is a state statute that we're following the building code, international building code, that they are the lead agency to assure that this is what's gonna take place. The other option was that we notify them and they come and just start red tagging buildings. So there's over 500 of these conditions. So we need to be, we need to come to a consensus of how is it that we're gonna be curing this, nuisances in essence.
Okay,
Thank you.
so that condition, we're just gonna say that'll be condition 7.
Yes, and I believe, yes, I
It's on
believe
there.
it's, what number is it? I don't see it.
Number 6.
They don't have no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't, I'm different. I keep looking at something different.
The one we have, that we get, it's like there's a couple of.
We'll do some housekeeping, on that and then we'll make sure that.
In the agenda's 1 week.
Yeah,
before
and
to
then we
cover,
had more.
and we notify them.
I see.
So then when you modify them, whatever pages you've given us, or whatever pages have been modified, please bring them in. So I have something to look at.
Can we show number 7?
So, yeah.
So, I want to ask. And, I'm gonna ask the chairman to, if he believes that it's better spoken, in the, planning and zoning remarks, that you can let me know. But I think it's something for this because, in my time here, I see a lot of us having to balance setbacks, variances, and, people who've been here a long time and balancing, information that they've received, this and that. I think that much like that trailer case that we just heard, maybe adding how viable with what you know, with what you can counsel, how viable is it to kind of start maybe setting that trend where any variance that is kind of these nature, we tack on that the moment you're no longer the owner, the full weight of the variance in its true nature, in the ordinance will come into effect and there won't be generational things that, the setback issue where, how, is that viable? Would we be able to do that with this case? How does that look?
It's a little bit different because, and I will share this with you, and if you want, we can expand more on the, commission's remarks. But essentially, there's a difference. The manufacturer mobile home It's something that it's not most frequently than not on a permanent structure. The ordinance that we're following here is for permanent, unpermitted, permanent structures. Permanent, structures are defined by any structure attached to a footing. That is not something that it can just be removed necessarily. What we're asking here is that, and this zoning is gonna be changing, so this condition of the mobile home will be to the life of that mobile home. A new mobile home will not be there when this gets moved because that zone change. This got sparked, when, the zoning, with Doña County, because this was originally, a lot of those are adopted. As a matter of fact, right now, we have some properties that, are, you can put mobile homes right next to the golf course. And that condition exists in the county because it's more rural. This is a condition that in the city, it's not, it's creating more issues. So the mobile home manufacturer, because it's mobile, I would agree for this, as long as we don't have them enclosed with utilities, having a kitchen, lighting, or closing it and then making it will be something, but we can explore that, as you mentioned, and we can see what we can do, because it's not like you're gonna remove a house. Because it's a shell,
Right. I think what I'm finding is how to balance that we want to enforce, if everything's a variance, then ordinances don't matter, right? So how do we balance the fact that we want to start getting people to know that regardless of what was done before, regardless of the years before and the culture and the capacity of the city to whatever, 20 years of whatever. From, now, these type of things matter, right?
So, point of order, I am gonna ask you to save this thought for.
Perfect.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so, then if there's no other questions, there is a number 7, and then we're adding a number 8, which would be to have, the applicant follow the El Paso Electric guideline for removing, 8 feet prior, 8 feet before the pole and 8 feet after the pole. That, with that condition, added, I'll, here, roll call, please.
Chairman Robert Moreno,
Aye.
Commissioner David Avalos. Commissioner David Avalos,
Aye.
Commissioner Ernesto Martinez,
I with the newly added conditions for La Paz Electric.
Commissioner Daniel Portillo,
With the conditions,
motion carries.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, now we have time. At this moment, we go to remarks and inquiries from the Planning and Zoning Commission. And, but,
yeah, so basically, Hector, with regards to protocol and legality, what I mean is, I as a commissioner, and I start to consider recommending that on a lot of these cases, because somebody put up a carport, they didn't know they were part of the city. Somebody, they didn't, it seems like as the city is catching up, or we're now proudly, making sure that we're enforcing things, there's kind of like a gap, right? And I don't want to necessarily blame anyone, I just think that's just the foibles of the city, or whatever you want.
sorry, you're asking if it could be.
So am I allowed to consider that?
Yeah.
And am I, like, for me to say, I'm gonna vote to approve if I am able to say, okay, if we give this person this variance, okay, the condition needs to be that the moment they're no longer owners of this, it comes down. Their carport, the setback, everything, the storage shed they put up, it comes down. It protocol legally, or what, am I allowed to consider that?
But let's go one step further and say the city needs to consider it and put it in the conditions every time. Because I think it's an important and, I think it's fair to say, we're giving you and your, property this variance, but the variance is not gonna go for the next copy. So I think that's the way, I think it's a very valid point. I appreciate the commissioner bringing it up. I'd say let's ask.
A change of ownership or death of the owner, property owner, you know?
Change of ownership.
Change of ownership, yeah, just the moment everything that all the setbacks will now unquestionably, right? Meaning that the applicants understand that if we do approve it, that we're trying to move away from that they're getting a variance, but we want the ordinances to stick unless they're the conditions, right? Financial and, because again, one of the conditions for variance is that it's not self-inflicted. And a lot of these are self-inflicted, right? But of course, we try and balance everything. So that's it, right? From now on, could it be the standard that just any variance we get is gonna expire the moment the property owner changes? And could I say from now on, when I'm having a hard time making that balance, could my tipping point be, okay, I'll approve it if we can make it conditional based on that? Is that something I'm allowed to do?
Okay, so, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Portillo, as a point of clarification, and there's a few steps as, Chairman Argovino stated. So, number one, the request can be made that a condition is added. So under Robert Rules of Order, you can make a motion to add condition as, explained. A motion must be second, and then a roll call on the matter will take place. That would be the first step.
All right, so just to clarify, I am allowed, I wouldn't be causing any type of infraction by me making that motion.
Not the motion. What and I'm not an attorney, but based on my experience, Mr. Chairman and Commissioner Portillo, the only concern or reservation that I would have is that the motion or the motion is not contingent. If you do this, I will vote for it. Yes. It would just have to be, I recommend that it's approved under this condition. And if the rest of the commission.
Okay, so not transactionally is what you're trying to say.
Exactly.
Okay, I understand that, and that makes complete sense and something that I can proceed accordingly.
Yes, and so it's about separating that is not a tit for tat. So if the commission, if you make the recommendation that this structure gets painted pink or blue or red, it's a motion that must be second and must be voted in favor. If so, then the motion stands. The applicant is the other part that at that point I will ask. Staff does not have an objection of the building being red or blue or green. But we reserve, the owner reserves the right, because at that point, if the owner says, no, I wanted to paint it a different color, then staff will not recommend any approval with conditions at that point. It will void that part, and it would void your part, what you're recommending. So we will need to ask the applicant if they agree with the condition. If they don't, then you guys have your path is clear on what decision to make.
Okay.
Yes, is that?
Yeah, I understand. And maybe I worded it, it would be a quid pro quo. More than anything, I just wanted to know, is it something I'm allowed to take into judgment? You know,
The appointment
as in a mitigator for my thought process.
Yes.
Not as a requirement.
It's a request.
Okay,
And
yeah,
a
I think-
request, yes, if it's something like, for instance, a setback, it's a direct violation. We're not budging on that. A setback would be a setback. And that's not something that we can be more stringent. So for instance, if the CID says, well, you need to put 18 inches of footing. And the city of Sunland Park, for everything that CID or any other state requirement says 18 inches, then we're gonna augment that 6 inches, just to be sure. It extends it doesn't reduce the statute or the requirement. Statutory, that again, that's what we follow. We don't enforce HOAs because they're more stringent typically than city code. Same example.
Yeah, there's a whole process.
Correct. So Yes, this commission has this, so I would take it a step further. And I would tell you that, this, we can hear 500 of these cases, because that's what we estimate right now that we have. Okay, so what staff is proposing is that we cure this in a fashion where, number one, it's unbiased, and number two, that it meets the spirit and conditions of the ordinance and conformity and alignment with, planning and zoning and city council. So there is a workshop that I think the city clerk will be, giving you, some dates on, again, on the carports that we had before. I highly recommend that you attend. This is great dialogue, and this is something that when we come and propose, we look at different areas, right? That are in similar size or that have similar conditions. And we start extracting because those have gone a lot of times to either case law or have been to planning and zoning and what have you. And we start refining, what is it that has worked and what is it that hasn't worked? That being said, when this is taking place, your consideration, your recommendations will be more in changing and updating and amending that code. So that code will read, this is the variance when such and such structure, it's encroached or something, for structures, and we're gonna give you an inventory of structure, of places like this. All of the structures, they have signed and agreed to the conditions of this amendment, and therefore, let's say, if it was approved as your recommendation right now, then everything gets swapped in one. With one planning and zoning, with one DRT, with one city council. Those will be blanketed. Staff will have to do individual agreements, as we do with everybody that comes through a variance. Nowadays, in contrast to what took place before, we actually sign an agreement. We have them sign an agreement that city staff signs, that the applicant signs, so we can have it enforceable, and it gets notarized. And that goes into the file. That's why I'm very direct when we're adding any language, because that's what's gonna be enforced. There's times that as I said, as per the public record, we will reflect this on the conditions. And that way we unify and we are able to enforce. That's the enforcement mechanism. Because we can make many ordinances. We can make a lot of amendments. If we don't have the enforcement, we're gonna fail the same way.
Yeah.
So I hope that brings clarity to this commission.
The other thing I can make a recommendation upon, you all is if you start to see a specific engineer or engineers that are allowing for this stuff and willing and allowing and selling these clients on the fact that they're not within, it's not their job to tell clients, hey, you're within your setback. But you should call them and tell them, like, we're gonna start, I mean, they're making their money either way, which isn't.
And I see the contracts, Chairman Alvin, I've seen contracts that people have brought in, and, you know, at the end of the day, as I tell staff and other members, you know, we bring you the information that is factual and it's in the ordinance. And it's hard because we need to put our personal feelings aside.
Yeah.
And what we recommend is look again at the three conditions: self-inflicted, which is one that I forgot the other day, couldn't remember, a financial burden, or a nuisance to the neighborhood. Nuisance to the neighborhood, when you have 500 structures that are surrounding, it's kind of hard to create a nuisance, right?
Well, but you look at that neighborhood in one of these past cases today, the aerial, 9 out of those 10 properties are absolutely in non-compliance.
Exactly.
Various.
And the issue is like, well, what just me? This one was by accident.
Right.
That we're looking at it and we're like, wait, what is that structure doing this? Because this was for a permit for daycare. And we didn't notice until I saw the pictures and I was like, huh.
Okay.
And then we called it out. So that's part of that compliance. That's part of the work that we're doing. The city is moving forward with us getting some interns to do a lot of GPS this summer. We hope to get to that something like this so we can start now having a geographical location in lieu or preparedness for that possible adoption. So there is a plan moving forward, and we're gonna be able to come back. This, by the way, again, it's on hold. It's a part of the Title 10 that, we did workshops and we, put it for, commission acceptance, and it was, postponed contingent some clarification. So there are some workshops, because there's new council, that they wanted to see what that looked like. But I do highly encourage for this commissioners and you to remember to attend. You guys are seeing this firsthand.
And then I would like to, bring up to the commissioners, I know everyone's got a busy life, but it sure would be great if everyone started coming to meetings, and the outlier, or the exception is that every once in a while we don't. Because typically, I've never done these meetings on the telephone at all, and I think, it's important and it's respectful to city staff, because they're all here. And it's their job, but it's also our job. So try to make it to the meetings, please, gentlemen. And any other, let's bring up.
I think you highlighted something important about getting the neighbors involved, and so I just wanted to be on the record so that in the future, any resident or anybody will not be caught by surprise to hear that that matters. So no one is listening right now, maybe, but as a part of the record, yes, it does matter, and I hope applicants know that it matters if they can get their neighbors, the people in that area, to come and just vouch that it's okay, that they support them, that they're okay with it, much like they did. That's big.
And not have 10 neighbors say,
And of
I
course,
hope this,
of course.
because that helps, and that helps us to.
And I guess the opposite, right? If you hear of something you disagree with, get whoever agrees with you, bring them down, because all that matters. So as a matter of the record, no one will be able to accuse me in the future if.
Yes. And the public notices have been working. We actually have engaged with some residents that I would love to have, and I have invited to participate in some of this public meetings and or public input, because it's important for us to hear. Because what we're seeing right now is, well, you do it to them, but you didn't allow me to do it. And I think this brings clarity on what the process is, what the conditions are. And as the language from the attorneys, that we're not arbitrary and capricious when it comes to this items. And we, as staff, do work extenuously, for different levels, from staff receiving an application, from the ladies in the front being able to process and receive the applications, or reviews to take place, for it to go to city clerks, for the publishing, for this. So there's a lot that takes place before we get here. And the point is that we must show that good faith effort going again with this, and we thank you for understanding that. And again, we have the easy job when it comes to here, because you guys have the decision. We just presented the facts.
All right, thank you, sir. Is there any other comments from staff or director? Yes, ma'am.
Our workshop has been scheduled for February 24th.
What is it?
Our workshop,
February 24th, what time?
10 a.m. You already have in your email.
Oh, I think I did see something.
Yes.
We do, we have two legal firms that we have on the call, and we've been doing a lot of reaching out also to municipal league. So I do want to tell you that we're proposing to bring more workshops to help you and understanding not just you as commissioners, but also us as staff, on when we're getting something percent, that it has to be evidentiary, that what are the conditions to do right? Because a lot of the times emotions are hard to get on.
And this is at the,
Multi-gen.
oh, really?
Yes,
Okay,
So that, with that, we will conclude with the city staff comment.
okay. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all very much for being involved.
Good night, guys. Bye-bye.
Chairman, before we adjourn, and I want to thank you for being here. We do have two staff members.
Look like we have some new faces.
Yes, so I didn't tell him, I said, I'll be more than willing if you want to come and join us, and you can see what the ladies doing, that this is not, appealing frustrated. So if you guys don't mind, just introduce yourselves. We're building the team.
Good.
Hi, my name is Dana. I work with Public Works and I'm from this right now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Wait, what's your position in Public Works?
Assistant
Administrative.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Mireya Aguirre, and I am the Administrative Assistant for Business.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
Good, welcome. Welcome to the city.
Thank you.
Yes.
I noticed there's a lot of ladies in the room.
It must be Valentine's or something. Here's my number, David.
Yeah. Okay, there was a question from the commissioner. I believe, welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Was there a question? Or a statement?
Mr. Avalos, Mr. Martinez?
I think it's a bye.
Oh, he said bye. Okay. Then, given that, our, meeting is adjourned at 6:51 PM. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.